Hey, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to our collective reading. Take what you want, leave what you don't want. Any interaction with the channel is very valuable to the channel as a whole. So emojis, comments, likes, all of that. So as I was preparing for this reading, I do a couple different things. And in this activity, I saw there was a jockey on a horse. They were going very fast. You could just hear the breath of the horse. The color was red. I think the horse was a brown horse. And then at some point, my attention shifted. And then when it shifted back, it was the skeleton. Both of them were skeletons. The horse and the rider were skeletons. And they were still moving at a very big clip. So I think that speaks to me of transformation. But still moving towards something quickly, moving towards something very quickly, obviously, maybe even competitively, and that change and that transformation. The next thing I saw was the hand. You collective were holding hands with like a 10-year-old child. It was the right hand, and for some reason that was really important, that it was the right hand, that you were holding the hand of a mid-aged child. And then that turned into you holding a baby, maybe as a grandparent or as a new parent, but the face of the baby was very familiar. It was like the child, but they had grown and this was their baby, or maybe they'd regressed and this was them as a child. There was something about holding a baby and this intense recognition. So oftentimes babies can represent projects, can represent things that we're trying to accomplish. And so there's some recognition. It's a familiar thing. It's not completely bizarre, strange, like whose baby is this? Like, you know this baby really well. So that's what I saw. All right. Okay, Moonology just popping off here. Didn't even get very far. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. We just had a full moon in Aquarius, which was a little intense. So bringing love into the situation. It's an air sign. It's a new moon. So we're talking about something where we don't necessarily know where it's going, but to be compassionate and loving. And it's the water bearer. So it's sort of an intellectual understanding of our emotions, which can sometimes be a nice barrier to feeling the emotions. If you don't want to feel them right away, we can intellectualize them, we can think about them, we can figure out why we're feeling what we're feeling. But there's a sense of compassion here and grace around emotions, and being choosing to have grace in a situation, choosing to be loving and have grace in a situation. I think the new moon is telling me that you don't know all of the story. You don't know the whole story. So being graceful, compassionate, and kind when you don't really know we don't really know what other people are experiencing. So bring love into the situation. Non-conventional, perhaps. I want to say unconditional. And then we have another air sign. So the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. So you're going to know something, you're going to see something. What you don't know now, what's in this dark of the moon, and it's just asking for your compassion, your understanding. You will know in the future, it will become clearer to you in the future. So not being impatient for answers, knowing that they are coming. It's all about communication, and it seems like your job right now is to be compassionate, full of grace, and with something you don't know about, and to understand that you will know. You won't be kept in the dark forever. You will know. The answers are coming. So full moon in Gemini. Your eyes are opening. You're going to see something and know something and understand something. But until that point, I think there's authenticity too in this new moon Aquarius. So, all right, Oracle of Mystical Moments. Just wanted to give us one card today, which is fine. Oh my gosh, can you hear me? a failure of communication, difficulty communicating. That's really interesting because we already have this on the table of like, you are going to know. They're going to respond to you. If you've put something out there, you've asked for something, you've created something, you've been trying to communicate something, they are going to be getting back to you, is what the full moon in Gemini. In the meantime, you're in this situation. It's like waiting for your echo to return. Hold on, my glasses are dirty and it's very bothering. Okay, I think that's really interesting too, because we have this like eyes opening. The answers you need are coming. You'll see clearly is what I'm seeing here. So, can you hear me? Interesting. A third card about communication. The answers you need are coming, but they've been a long time coming. The question's been asked. The proposal has been sent out. And it's just like, did you get this? Did you receive this? Are you thinking about this? Seems like a very long time may have passed between when you put something into the situation, when you say like, okay, maybe I don't understand this whole thing, but let's maybe do this or that. And then can you hear me, has like depleted energy, frustration, hopelessness of this is never going to be resolved. This is never going to be answered. This question, there's a question. It's the answers you need are coming. And then we have the question is, can you hear me? And so a question's been asked and it will be answered. A request perhaps has been put into the universe. It will be answered. In the meantime, there's maybe some frustration, some depression. All of this, unfortunately, is causing some growth. It's not the only way to grow is frustration and difficulty, but there is some growth here. So you are growing as a person, perhaps just growing impatient, but there's a way in which this delay has developed you. The delay has been for your benefit and has developed you. You've already done your part in the communication. You've said what you need to say, and you're just waiting now for something, but you've been waiting, and it's not an easy wait. And I think especially in the state of like frustration, this like bringing love into the situation, having grace during a period of very much unknown, being an unknown. The question's been asked, you're waiting for the answer, and there's this unknown arena here. And having to have grace during that, even though you are frustrated and distressed and annoyed. Okay. Wow, I think we see some repeats. This is interesting. This could be about spending some time in nature, maybe while you wait. You're spending some time in nature. The card is nature. It is like sort of, maybe it's just with one other person too, taking some time out, leaving the crowd behind, leaving, I want to say, the grid behind. And it's a magical little place. There are all sorts of wishes here. Maybe a little bit of wish fulfillment here, but spending some time in nature. I mean, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, we've got, the beautiful ending of summer, so wanting to be out there. It also talks about the nature of a situation, the nature of our personalities, our person. So there's some nature here. So there's this space, this breathing space, a space of connection, maybe even connecting with nature, connecting with somebody else. But there's this clearing in among all of these, like there's completion vibes here and fruitful vibes, and I am getting the end of a season vibe, and there's this space that's being made away from everything else, to connect either with nature, with yourself, or with somebody else, away from everything else. And I think there's something to learn here too. And then we have choices. So decisions need to be made, of course, as always. I think we got this last time. No, I think we got it in like a quick daily thing where it's like, you're going to have to make some decisions. Like, you don't really know. Again, we have the two crows over here and this grouping in some distance. So they're the only ones making the choices. They're making decisions and choices and looking at the options. But again, it's really unknown. It's the shell game. It's really unknown what's inside this option. You know what? I want to read this one. Hold on. It's interesting because MJ Colonnane, the artist of the Crow Tarot, the Urban Crow Oracle, she also has Crow Tarot and all sorts of other things. And it's probably the artist I use the most in all of my decks. So anyway, she came out with an expansion deck for the Urban Crow Oracle. And I was like, I don't know this card very much. It just looks like a shell game. So we're going to read it. Two crows were walking on the beach when they came across two clamshells. The bird closest to the shells was in an advantageous position, but would need to make a quick decision as the other crow was breathing down its neck. Neither could tell the status of the clams. Maybe both were full of meat. Maybe one was just an empty shell. They would not know for sure until the first bird committed to a decision, and in doing so, opened the door for the other bird to scoop up the remaining shell. So if you decide one way, someone else gets an opportunity. It's risky. It's like, well, you're going to be, it says decisions need to be made. You may be in the position of getting to choose first. How do you know you're making the right choice? Are you choosing the best, most logical option? Is your heart pulling you in a different direction? Are you making the decision in haste just to pick something so that you're the one in control? Is making the wrong choice better than no choice? Do you have confidence in your intuition? So interesting. More questions than answers here is what I'm getting. More questions than answers, but you may get first pick at something, and it may, Jack, yeah, we've got Jack here, and he just stretched his, and wanted to stretch his claws to right on my thigh. So perfect. Thank you, Jack. And then abundance. So there may be like, abundance may come in and you may have to make some decisions. Something, comes in. There's a lot of options is what it looks like. There's a lot of options here. And like, how do you know which is the right option for you? And if you don't pick the option, someone else is going to get it. If you don't pick this, somebody else gets it. So whether it's a job, a person, something else, somebody's going to get this. You might have first pick. And how do you know? There may be a time to take a time out. Maybe you're offering the choices. And if somebody doesn't pick you, you'll be moving on, right? If something doesn't happen here, whether it's a job or whatever, you have options. Everybody here has a lot of options. The choices reminds me of an idea of limited options. And like in this scenario, there's only two clams, but this card coming next is saying that there's actually way more than two clams. So if you pick the clam that's just empty, full of sand, whatever, there's way more clams. And there's a hell of a lot of clams on this beach. Also, I'm thinking of Chiopino, which sounds very good right now. So like, there's a lot of choices. It's like a menu, and like everything looks good. Like I have celiacs and I can't have wheat. And it's like when I go to a celiac specific restaurant, I have more than two options. Well, now I don't know what to do. It's just a little bit overwhelming. I can eat anything here, really? So anyway, abundance, it's good. As a Libra, of course, I kind of having to make choices from an abundance of options kind of stresses me out. But it is better than no options. It's better than no choice. And that reminds me, you always do have a choice, even if they're crappy choices. There's always a choice. Wow, you may feel rushed, is what I'm feeling. You may feel rushed and anxious, but I think there's some reassurance that there's a lot where that came from. So there's just abundance here. There's a lot where that came from. So don't be stressed about the choices, okay? And then from the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Energy shifting, changing, moving, a new cycle, a new stage, a new situation in life. And of course, this always reminds me of the 28-day moon cycle. and we've got the full moon and the new moon. So maybe we're talking about like a 2-week period here. Um, but a shift in luck, in energy is shifting the energy, and then that having shifts in reality. So the wheel is meant to be, it's meant to be a very lucky card and a shift in reality, I guess. It reminds me of the merry-go-round. Like sometimes your ponies are up, sometimes your ponies are down, and like your friend's pony may be up and your pony may be down, but another round, and then you're the one on the pony that's up and they're the one on the pony that's down. So the Wheel of Fortune reminds me of the merry-go-round. Is that it? Anyway, past, present. Okay, I have the deck upside down, so we're gonna ignore those. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay, we got a reversal anyway, but that was a legit reversal. Interesting. I wonder what this is about. Okay, in your recent past, you have a break. Maybe you've taken a break from something. You're just like, yeah, no, I can't do this right now. Maybe you went on vacation. It's got strong vacation vibes. It's a break from something. I'm always taking classes. We can be working towards something, but sometimes it's really helpful to take a little bit of a break, let that stuff marinate and kind of get into all the little crevices in our brain and really integrate the information. So that's what this feels like to me, is integrating the information through relaxation. There's always been an intent to get back at it, but this is sort of, could have been like cosmically timed. The timing of this is interesting. And there's almost like a taskmaster that's standing there saying, like, you will be getting back to work, but this is actually part of your work. And you're like, I can't believe I have a job where I get to relax. Yeah, there's visions coming in during this time period, realizations, understanding something. It's almost like a meditative period in which you come out having accidentally and unintentionally learned quite a bit. It's like you're being prepared or pampered through some sort of timeout process. So yeah, you may have taken a break from something or somebody or some situation, right? And this is always about like not talking. This always reminds me of someone not talking or not being in communication with somebody. You're going to find out why you weren't in communication with somebody or something like that. But as far as that story, but this feels a little bit separate. We'll see if there's some overlap. But so this break, this vacation, and then we have your current situations too, materials. You got a lot on your plate. You are juggling a lot, possibly different emotional states, different realities, different jobs. There's actually quite a bit of juggling the needs here, the need for rest and relaxation, the need to pay your bills, the need to, maybe 2 jobs here. It's always just like this pushing on some sort of physical boundary of like, this is as fast as this car can go. This is like, and this is as fast as you can go, or this is as much as you can handle. You have everything on your plate that you can handle. It feels like if something more were to be placed into your life, it would be too much. You would fall apart. You wouldn't. So there's a struggle and a strain to remain balanced. It's an effort to remain balanced here, and it could have to do with money. It could have to do with health. It could have to do with time management. It could have to do with projects. It's just a lot of difficulty. So you go from this vacation and you're just plunked into, and it just seems like, of course you needed a vacation, and this vacation may have been necessary to prepare you for everything you have on your plate right now. So yeah, you took a break and now you've got multiple things moving, multiple things going forward. And it's taking a lot of focus from you to juggle this. And it could just be one situation. It could just be your entire life. That shift of energy is pretty abrupt, though, from 4 of voices to 2 of materials. In your inner landscape, we have awakening. So realizations, understanding, it's this. It's this, the answers you need are coming. And this is your hopes, your fears. This could be something that you're really wanting, is like wanting some sort of insight. The awakening, it's the judgment card. It's the review. Maybe you want to know how you did or how you're doing. You want some feedback. It could also be like, yeah, this desire to understand something, to see something, and it changes you. Like I do think that understanding things has such a, especially even understanding our past or seeing our past in a different light, in a different way, really has this ability to change us and change our lives and change our lives going forward, and even change how we view the past can also be changed. So there's a desire for understanding, complete understanding, or even evaluation. Like, am I doing, it's almost like you want feedback, or you want life or something, perhaps to give you some a report card. It's like you turned in a paper and you're wanting to know how, did you hit it? Did you hit the note? Did you... Judgment always has like this school vibe to me, as far as like, not school vibe, but it always feels like the getting the grades back, understanding how did it go, the evaluation, wanting an evaluation, wanting someone to give you some feedback about where you're at, what's going on, am I doing okay? And maybe you wanted that at some point in your life. Maybe you want that right now. I mean, we all want like that, I think. Maybe some people don't, probably. So understanding, you want some kind of understanding. You're looking for those answers. And you're looking for the reply. You put something out there and you're wanting the reply. And then what's the issue here is 9 of materials, is it's not been successful yet. Something has not been successful. You haven't yet accomplished what you set out to accomplish. It's almost like you stuck this wheel, you put this wheel in motion, kind of rested and forgot about it, but you haven't accomplished everything in this field that you want to accomplish. You are, so that reflects back on this 2 of materials, as far as like things you're working on that haven't come to completion, that haven't been accomplished. Maybe there are projects, like bigger projects in your life, that you haven't accomplished, that you didn't get to do yet. So there's an incomplete project. Something's incomplete. Maybe you think it's complete, but this is saying like, nope, it's not complete yet. You haven't gotten there yet. You're not at the end point for anything yet, for these things that you're working on. They haven't wrapped up, they haven't completed. So maybe you're like in between jobs or something, but one job's not completed or wrapping up, and the other job's starting, and you're having to work on that. This one always gives like entrepreneur vibes of like having your day job and then also starting this business on the side, and how much work that takes, and how much you need to be focusing on that and doing that and trying to juggle both of those commitments. And you're not there yet. You haven't accomplished it yet. And I think the awakening is this card is wanting to be there yet, wanting to know the things you need to know, wanting to know maybe if something is going to work out, wanting to know if you can do this, if this moves forward. But this 9 of materials is something hasn't been successful yet. Something hasn't taken off, something, we can't drop the other ball because one of them's still not ready for the other one. We can't drop it because we don't have the capacity to drop the ball. So it's a juggling idea, and you're juggling too many balls, and you'd like to drop one, but it's like you can't, for some reason. You're not there yet. You're not at the place where you're able to drop one of those balls. So and a lack of completion here, and having not gotten what you wanted. I keep wanting to say yet, and that's because we have this answers you need are coming. So 5 of voices in reverse. That's in your environment. Someone may be making a choice for your benefit, not their own. Someone may be, choosing to do something for you. Maybe there's an easy choice. It's not difficult. It's not hard. They haven't had to do a lot of soul searching for this choice and decision. What I found interesting when Five of Voices came out in reverse is that this also was here. This choices. And this is always about choices. Which way are you going to go? You know, and in the upright, it's about really difficult choices. So maybe it's not difficult choices, right? I had this like fear response to this card here about choices. And oh my gosh, like, to pick something, but then this abundance card came in to reassure that we don't have to, there's not just two choices. There's a lot of options, a lot of choices. And if you choose wrong right now, there's 4 million other clams on this beach here, actually, and you can pick a different one. And maybe you'll get even a better one because you picked the one with sand, the other person picked the one that had a clam, but then that freed you up to get the bigger clam over there. So who knows, you know? Life unfolds in very mysterious ways. So 5 of Voices in reverse, it seems like an easy choice. Because in the upright, it's a hard choice and having to choose yourself and having to make difficult choices. And this is, in the reverse, we could have a very easy choice, obvious choice. It's only a choice by name only. There's really nobody else for the job, nobody else for the position, nobody else that they want to be with. It's just this, yeah, and it could be that there's not a choice being offered, but it's such an easy choice like that. You could see it as a choice, but it's so easy and it's so effortless and it's so simple that you may even make the choice without even realizing you're making the choice, just because it feels very obvious here. Could also be somebody else making decisions, but they're not hard choices. So if someone chooses you or chooses somebody else, it's very simple. It's very easy. There's not a lot of difficulty here, is what I'm seeing. And that's not just, there's an opportunity and there's a lack of difficulty. There's either a lack of choices or a lack of difficulty. And with the choices showing up already here, and it's an easy choice. Not a lot of soul searching has been involved in this choice. In this decision. And maybe it's something you didn't get. Maybe it's something that didn't work out for you, but it's not like it was by a little, like it was just a little hair's breadth away from each other and you didn't get it. It's like it just was so obviously this person. It wasn't a difficult decision. It also has the ring of somebody making a choice that's maybe not, they don't perceive in their best interest, but in your best interest, making a decision that is for you, and not necessarily like furthers their career or is a safe choice for them. Your to-do list is 6 of inspiration. So, wow, celebrate your win. It's like your win. You win. One way or another, even if you lose, you win. It's reminding me of, we, in every situation, we either, get exactly what we want or we get a lesson and we get an opportunity to learn something. Sometimes both, but definitely view this as a win. I mean, with choices, with abundance, it's your moment. It's your time. You are going to stand in the spotlight, and it benefits a lot of people. So I would say, like, do not be afraid to win. I want to say be aware of self-sabotage, but I also don't want you to be afraid of that. I mean, that can be like a hall of mirrors of, am I self-sabotaging, or is this right, or does this feel right? This feels right, or am I feeling it? Does it feel right because it's part of a negative pattern? Like, just so I want to say, like, you won, okay? You got it. You got the thing. You're getting it. Allow it to happen to you. Allow this win. Be part of the win. Don't shy away from the spotlight. Don't, and the Grateful Dead song is coming in, like, sometimes the light's all shining on you. That's it. It's interesting. Like, I don't really, as a to-do list, 6 of inspiration, like be in the parade, take the victory lap, let people praise you, admire you, receive the blessing, because they don't really see you. It's victory after difficulty, and you're in the difficulty right now. So when the victory happens, know that you got there. You got there. You did that. You had a part to play. Yeah, fate is at the wheel here, but it's not. But you were prepared, right? So, we're always talking about fate and chance and opportunity and being prepared for that opportunity. Well, if the opportunity comes, it's not just luck. You were prepared for it. You were ready for it. So, even though you may have taken a break for a while. What's possible outcome? Use of materials, King of Cups, mastery, being able to handle the emotions. This could be someone, this could be a therapist, this could be a lover, this could be, it's very strong, masterful energy, and there's a calmness to it, there's a peace to it, there's an ability to ride out the storm, to ride these waves, even if you're in the ricketiest little boat ever. And again, we have another star. The star is small, right? This isn't the star card. We have the starfish and we have the star on our head. We have stars above and stars below. It's a small star. A small stardom is what you are entering here. A small stardom. You may have someone that you can rely on, hopefully, that is very emotionally stable and is going to make space. It's that making space thing. They're going to hold space. You're going to have someone you can rely on that is going to be very supportive. You are being supported at this time, either by a group. It does have group vibes, or by an individual, but there's this space for emotional flow. And there's an ability to handle the emotions. This could be a person that's coming into this space with you, right? The space that we already identified here. So if you, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to now, I guess, just sort of, without much thought, the Spirit Animal Oracle, just automatically moving from this use of emotion. So this is our King of Cups. Relationship, mastery, someone has your back. Somebody's got your back here. So you may feel a little discombobulated by the spotlight, but somebody has your back. I don't know who. It's not necessarily everybody. There's a good crowd here, though, who support you and are happy, very happy for you and happy to see you win. So, so electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. Working on something. It's definitely feeling like it has to do with this King of Emotions. So sometimes I like these as mantras, our brain already repeats patterns, repeats ideas. We've had ideas we don't even realize that we've been repeating to ourselves for years. We may have inherited them from our parents. It's a mechanism the brain does. It fills up space. It's like white noise in the brain, right? It just kind of fills up space. So a mantra is using that mechanism, but for our benefit rather than, usually they're for our detriment. Most of us didn't get like repetitive thoughts that were like, you're rad, you're awesome, everybody loves you. Oh, everybody loves you here. But this electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. So these cards I think of as mantras, as a replacement. The mechanism's already going, we might as well use it to our benefit, right? So bring your ideas to life. Really taking action on something, moving forward with something. Interesting. And then we have antelope spirit, life is speeding up. That is so cool, because that's definitely what this feels like. With this going on here, that life is speeding up. in the shifting of the wheel here. And then we start with you on vacation and relaxed, and then this wheel shifts, and it almost seems like it's the energy shifting. But when I was preparing for this, I kept seeing in my mind a card from the Moonology deck called the Gaining Momentum or something like that. It's a moon cycle, and it's about gaining momentum. And so it was basically this, things are gaining momentum, and this sense of like, you've set some sort of intention, you've put something out there, you've started something, and now you are getting a lot busier with that thing. It's moving forward, and it's moving quickly. So this could be going into a time of busyness as you create something, as you build something in your life with this electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life, and life is speeding up. So it's almost like opportunities are coming, opportunities are building, things are something you've been working on, maybe a side project. It's moving. It's going to make you very busy for a period of time, not forever, but for a period of time. All right, and then we have the feathers. What feather? I mean, last week, the last feather was wild. We'll see what we get this week. Okay, so what card do you think I should pick? I'm kind of feeling it over here. All right, do we have some stripes? Falcon. Oh, wow. Because it is the life speeding up, it's that. Use your keen perception and skill in making decisions. Do not delay. Oh my gosh, this like quick choice that we have to make over here, this quick decision. We've got people breathing down our necks, and we've got to make a choice. And this is like, do not delay. Bring your ideas to life. Life is speeding up. And then this falcon, this like, you see what you want, go get it. Don't stop. Don't wait. Don't prevaricate. I think you know what you want here. In this situation, not every situation, but in this situation we've been talking about, you know exactly what you want. When you see it, you grab it. I also want to get the book out on this one, because there's a mantra here too. So falcon. The falcon messenger has swooped in to show you that you indeed have the skills, perception, and ability to attain the prize. What have you been seeking? So, attaining the prize, right? Whether this is an ongoing quest or a new opportunity, you are being urged to hone your senses and take the leap without further delay. A sharp perception and an unwavering focus will assist you as you do. This may require to move in a faster way than you might be accustomed to doing. Yeah. Life is speeding up. You've been out here chilling on ice here, or probably a hot tub. This may require you to move in a faster way than you might be accustomed to doing. Feel the power, skill, and excitement of falcon supporting you as you take flight. And then the affirmation. Okay, this one's going to be the good mantra. I follow my instincts and achieve my highest goals. I love that. All right, beautiful reading. We'll chat again next week. Bye.